Hello everyone, I'm Borja. I'm a research master student of Behavioral and Cognitive Neuroscience at Groningen University, and I'm doing my master thesis here at Humboldt University. And today I will talk about the potential therapeutic applications of psilocybin for depression. But first, a question. Have you ever heard about this therapeutic approach? Are you familiar? Please raise your hand if you are. Okay, good. So as you may know, psychedelics didn't show up in the last decade. We humans have been consuming psychedelics for centuries. For instance, the Native Americans consume San Pedro cactus, the Indian Amazons consume ayahuasca, and the Aztecs consume mushrooms. Mushrooms has the main psychoactive compound called psilocybin, and we will focus here today. And this research, these compounds, these psychedelics have been put a lot recently in research. Why? Because they have been legally restricted for many decades. However, right now there is an emergence of this research, and they have been shown to be promising for therapeutic approach for several disorders. And if I ask you, how many people do you think is currently depressed in the world, which number would you say?
30 million.
30 million? Who give more?
1 million.
1 million, a bit less? 3 billion, but we are 8 billion. Okay, less, lower.
500 million.
Okay. So actually, there are 322 million persons clinically currently depressed in the world, and that's the equivalent to say that the entire population of the United States is depressed, but they are not depressed. This is an analogy, okay? But yeah, a lot of people depressed, so this is a concern. This is a problem. Why they are depressed? Because our methods doesn't work. So we have psychotherapy, antidepressants. I did psychology, but unfortunately, the efficacy is only moderate, and they're high relapse rate. So psychedelics are suggested as a new novel treatment for treating depression. In this research, in 2016, 51 cancer patients who had out of anxiety, out of depression, underwent 2 doses of psilocybin combined with psychotherapy. And it was incredible that they significantly reduced their symptoms in depression and anxiety. And in 80% of the participants, those effects endured. So after 6 months, they were okay. They didn't have depression anymore. And that's incredible how the well-being of these persons improve only by this psilocybin and psychotherapy treatment only once. Because with antidepressants, you take antidepressants daily. But this is only 1 dose. And this is not just one study, this has been replicated several times with larger samples, 100, 200, major depressive disorder, treatment-resistant depression. That is incredible, but now, how? As we ask in science, how is this happening? What are the underlying mechanisms, right? So, first, you know we have a brain, and in the brain we have many cells. One of them are neurons, and neurons connect and communicate with each other with messages. These messages are called neurotransmitters, and you are familiar with serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter involved in anger, mood, sexuality. Then psilocybin binds to one of those receptors, to the 5-HT2A specifically. So why this is important? Because these receptors are populated in many parts of the brain, and especially in prefrontal areas. And what happens in depression? There is some change in the activity of your prefrontal regions. So do you know the default mode network? Okay, what is it? Okay. Who wants to share what is the default network? Does anyone knows? No? Okay, so, the default network is a connection between several regions that you have here, and this network is involved in introspection, in self-referral thinking, in planning, and in mind wandering, right? And in depression, there is a hyperconnectivity of these regions, okay? And these regions are populated with the 5-HT2A receptors that I mentioned. So, to make it more clear, I will explain an analogy. Up there, you can see the traffic, the flight traffic before COVID, and down there on the bottom, you can see the traffic flight, during COVID, right? So, let's say you are depressed, you have a hyperconnectivity of your regions, of your countries. The countries are the regions, the flights are the connectivity. However, when you take psilocybin with psychotherapy, the hyperconnectivity is reduced, right? Then you will have the traffic flights during COVID, okay? And this actually correlates with the depressive symptoms improvement. So we have here one of the underlying mechanisms why psilocybin therapy works, and this is incredible. However, there are many other underlying mechanisms that also explains these positive therapeutic outcomes. For instance, there are changes in cognitive flexibility. What is that? It's our ability to adapt to change, to adapt to a new environment, to real rule switching tasks. People with depression have problems really dealing with that. However, when they take psilocybin combined with psychotherapy, this cognitive flexibility is enhanced, and also this is shown in change in the neural networks and how they work. Other explanations are the involvement of the amygdala, also the anti-inflammatory effect of psilocybin, because as you may know, depression is a stress-related disorder, which means that has a lot of inflammation. But when you take psilocybin, there is a decrease in inflammation, so that could be a potential mediator in the depressive symptoms improvement. There are other mechanisms and other neurotransmitters involved in this this depressive improvement. This is just one to make it clear. As conclusion, psilocybin therapy holds a promising therapeutic approach for depression and other disorders, especially calming the overactive default network. And I was doubting about giving you this take-home message. I think it's interesting, which is sometimes don't think too much, don't mind wander too much, do not introspect too much, because that will increase the hyperconnectivity of your default mode network, and you don't want that. You don't want that, okay? Yeah, so here you have the reference in case you are interested, because everything is about science. And if you want more science, you can follow me in my social media. Thank you very much for your